Hi, my name is John Dillon. I'm with the Sienna Point Homeowners Association here in Missouri City, Texas, Fort Bend County. We've got a dry hydrant project going. This is the first of 6 dry hydrants we're going to put in to our community. Looking back around to the view now, that is our Thompson Lake. It's dry now because of the drought conditions that we've had. But we're taking advantage of this opportunity to go ahead and put in some dry hydrants, as well as do some excavation work in this particular lake out there, where you see a small pile between those 2 trucks, to dig out the base of that lake there, make it much deeper, bring that dirt up into this area here that we see, this lower lying area, up level with this higher area. Prior to doing that work, we're laying in this dry hydrant line. It's going to be 275 feet long. That whole length of line down this trench, the trench is still not dug out all the way to the end, is going to be 4 feet under the anticipated lake level. And we're going to have this big rise right here of PVC pipe, approximately, I would say it looks to be about a 20-foot lift, where we're going to put a, right here at flush ground level, we're going to put in a dry hydrant head, what we call a flush mount box. We'll see pictures of that later when we get to that point of the project. From here, the fire department will connect from a pumper truck there on the road in 4-foot sections, or 4 10-foot sections of suction hose. That's that semi-hard hose that they'll assemble together. They're going to do training and stuff on it and like that. We think this is going to work out pretty good. We're looking at 6-inch PVC line, and those lines come with already a bell built into them. They're glued together, and later on in the project we'll have some more video and some more pictures of the actual dry hydrant components that'll be attached to both ends. Okay, it's me again, John Dillon. Just got down into the lake level here where we can see more of that pipe. I'm going to turn it around here so you can look at the trench that's already been dug. I'm going to walk up to it. You can see as we've dug the trench, we've been connecting the lines. A little bit moist here in the ground, going back up to the rise. Over here to the east is the upper level of the park that surrounds this lake. Here's our excavation people. That there be Senor Francisco Sanchez with his track hoe. Great device to be doing this with. You can see further out in the lake where we're at. You notice there's a bulldozer way on out there. That's going to scrape up about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 10-foot depth hole out in that section of Thompson Lake. That outer area there where the truck is, a lot of land's going to be built up, but that's going to form the edge of our new lake. And this area here that I'm standing in the middle of will all be built up with the dirt that's scraped from that lake. Now, this isn't typical of most dry hydrant installations, but it's something we wanted to do here with this park, since we've always wanted to build up this northern section of Thompson Lake Park. You can Google Earth it and take a look at it. That house across the street there is on Thompson Lake Drive. I believe its address 9630. Correction on that house, the address is 8630. Another thing to notice here is we're making sure that our hole is level, our trench is level. That's very important. We don't want to have any dips or lifts or peaks in that pipe. That way no air gets trapped in, which will mess up the draw. You'll see the worker there with his measuring stick that they're using to get that hole level. They periodically shoot the level of that hole here with this laser sight. Very important when you're digging these dry hydrant trenches to lay in your pipe that hole is level from end to end, so that water from the lake, when it fills that pipe, it'll keep it full and relatively air free. Another thing that we do on these installations, we're always going to use a inline PVC check valve. We get all that stuff from ETT Fire. This is the level we're using, and that there we're looking at is the laser sensor. Here's Senor Sanchez. He is the man. These are his sons, and they're checking that level again right there to make sure that it's set. That laser sensor there is picking up the laser there. And green is perfect. That means we've got the level set. Alright folks, so I'm going to return back to my office, which happens to be my company car today. Well, I'll continue doing some work and enjoying a few Rocky Patels as I sit under this wonderful summer Texas day. It's about 100 degrees out here, but with that humidity it makes it just right. Talk to y'all later. Hey folks, back with you for one last video shot. There's the street end of the line. There's the trench going all the way back. He's already starting to bury it. Again, I wanted to stress the importance of making sure that hole is level. The contractor here, Mr. Sanchez with B&N dozer work and landscaping, one of the key things that they do is they use a laser sight level here. Very important to use that laser sight level. That way they can shoot that trench all the way down. If it's not level, folks, you're going to have problems. If you ever get this work done, make doggone sure you get it level. Level below the anticipated lake level that you're going to be digging to. One last thing I'd like to point out, I've been doing all this video work and camera work with my HP Palm Pre 2. It's been a great phone. While I've been talking to you and shooting cameras and videos, I've been uploading simultaneously to the YouTube site that you all are looking at these videos on now. It's been a heck of a phone and very helpful for this project. See ya. Okay folks, we are at the end of the line now. I'm on my second Patel, and we've got the dry hydrant done. So 275-foot length, 2 Rocky Patel cigars is what it takes to get this kind of work done here. I want to show you what we've got in place now. Looking down here in the hole, we're at the lake end. We've attached all of the 6-inch PVC links all the way back up to the street there. Here at this end, everything goes glued except for this last elbow and this standpipe, which we're going to leave unglued because later on, after the lake is dug out, we're going to pull these pieces out. This pipe will actually be sticking out. This last 10 feet will be sticking out of the side of the wall of the big hole we're going to be digging, just with basically a big sump. And on that end there that you see here with my fingers, I'm going to use the Patel cigar to point at that for you. We're going to knock that thing off with a hammer. It's not glued, so it should come off. We'll then be attaching the dry hydrant fittings to that. When we get to that point of the project, I'll lay out those fittings for you. Earlier I said we got all these fittings from ETT Fire out of Alabama. Man who owns that, runs it, is Stan Merritt. He's a fire chief and an engineer. He's helped a ton on this project. He did all the flow calculations for us and whatnot, and helped us with getting contacts with some people here in the state of Texas that have done a lot of dry hydrants up in the Bryan College Station area. The project, one of the benefits of this for us is we're going to be able to get our fire risk rating reduced significantly from a 10 down to about a 5-6, and we'll realize a reduction in our homeowners insurance for all the members here of the HOA here in Sienna Point. Now that the pipe is done, it's been shot, it's level. Very important to get that pipe in level. You got to be level. Got to use that laser sight. These guys did that. We're ready to start covering it up with dirt, and the next phase of this project for this particular area will be digging out the sump hole. In the meantime, we cleared out some trees here in the north end so that we're ready to start doing that big scrape with our bulldozers and track hose and whatnot they're going to use for that project. Mr. Sanchez is back here again. He's ready to start burying the hole. Nothing like a Patel on a hot Texas summer day. You all enjoy. John Dillon again. I'll show you the last bit of work on this site for today. We've gone ahead and covered up the hole, the trench. Used that track hoe and the bulldozer. They compacted it. They buried it very carefully. Earlier I mentioned the name of the contractor here, Fort Bend County. I said B&N, that was a mistake on my part. That's B&F Dozer Work and Landscaping. That's who did this job for us. Looking here, we got our standby here that's going to mark where the head end is. When we come back to this, so probably next week or week after, we'll go ahead and put on the dry hydrant fitting and box. I'll videotape that, of course. I wanted to also point out a couple of things for you. We have underground utilities here. If you look there on the ground, you'll see a stripe red paint here in Texas. We have a Texas One Call, a third-party nonprofit organization that works with folks that are doing any kind of excavation work to mark underground utilities. What we have here in our neighborhood is underground electric and telephone. We're a rural area, so everyone has their own water wells and septic and buried propane tanks, so that's all we have underground here. We've got pull boxes, high voltage cable pull boxes, but the key thing to get is you want to make sure when you put in your dry hydrant you stay out of the easements. You got to find out where those easements are by looking at the platted plans and whatnot for your neighborhood. Also work with your fire department to make sure that when they get a pumper truck up here on the road that they'll have enough of the suction hose sections to assemble together to connect to where the dry hydrant fitting will be here on the bottom. And you know, that distance in our case is about 35 feet. Our fire department is going to have 4 sections of 10-foot suction hose that they'll be able to connect this with. We've already been working with them on that. Another thing too is after this is all done, we'll come back with the fire department and an ISO auditor. That's ISO auditor. We're going to verify what we can pull out of this thing. Of course, that's after the lake gets filled up when rains start coming back. And we've got some calculations that say with our 6-inch PVC we should be able to do about 700 gallons a minute. The minimum requirements here in Texas, ISO requirements are minimum 250 gallons a minute. We expect to be able to do about 3 times that. 8-inch PVC, by the way, would have been able to get up to 1,200 gallons a minute. That's pretty good, but 750 is fine. Another thing to keep in mind is you want to make sure as you work with your fire department that serves your area that you're using the same size fittings that they have for their suction hose on their fire truck, and that they come out and do some training. And always work with them, keep them in the loop. When you put this kind of a project together, makes it very successful, and also is important when the ISO auditor comes, because they want to be able to see that minimum flow rate is achieved, gallons per minute is achieved, and you know, you don't have to have a dry hydrant in every section of your area. One of the things that the ISO auditor is looking for is not only the flow rate, but the time it takes them to fill up a tanker truck and shuttle it to another section of the neighborhood, and do that within a certain number of minutes as designated by the ISO auditor to achieve a certification. Well, that's it for now, folks. Until next time, which will be when we work on our lower house lake dry hydrant. It's going to be in a few days.